Who in this family has already demonstrated his capacity for cold-blooded murder?
Aaron?
And don't tell me this locked up out of harm's way.
If you think you've cleaned me out, think again. There's much more money where that came from, much more. And there's nothing that I can't buy with it or arrange with it. If you get my drift. Aaron Sloane's coming back.
I found these under the seat of your car.
No, of course you did. They're mine.
I think we found what we've been looking for. Mr. Redfern, there's really no need for
Get on with it.
Okay. I hereby arrest you on a charge of attempted murder of Rex Redfern.
Cheryl, I've got to go. Yeah, of course. Your family must be very important to you. Pity that doesn't extend to your sister.
Gemma.
Oh, it's the guilt on the gingerbread, the icing on the cake. It's monuments and mirror glass, the city's on the make. The devil takes the hindmost and no one counts the cost. It's such a sweet seduction. Love. You could call it ambition, but someone must be greed. Don't want you for a friend if you're a friend in need. Not gonna tell the truth if you swallow a lie. I want the icing on the cake. Love.
Do you think this colour's all right? I always think black's best for overall credibility. Of course, the Royals always wear pastels. What do you think, Chelsea? It's for a charity luncheon.
So, you're going on with this campaign fiasco even after yesterday?
I've done all I can for Alistair, but life has to go on, you know. We just have to put a brave face on things.
Sure, I guess royalty gets charged with attempted murder every day.
Now, look, let's just get one thing straight. I have stood surety for Alistair's bail, and I'm getting the lawyers onto the job. And until then, there is absolutely nothing that any of us can do for him.
Well, what do you think, then? Do you think he did it?
Of course he didn't.
Well, then why did they arrest him?
They had to. Everything pointed to him.
But Alistair couldn't hurt anybody, and he couldn't think of a complicated plan like that. Well, he would know the first thing about the workings of a car for a start. Oh, why is it always our family that's in trouble?
All I know is that Alistair will be found innocent in the end. That's why I'm not giving up. I can't afford to be seen to think, even for a moment, that a member of our family would act like a criminal. Lars, would you tell Gemma to hurry up as she wants to lift to work?
Mrs. Redfern has already left, some time ago.
Oh, Mum? If Alistair didn't do it, then who did?
I don't know.
What are you doing here?
Alistair's been arrested.
I knew it.
What do you know?
He's been working up to this. I saw it coming.
I just feel terrible about all this.
You why?
Well, if it wasn't for me, none of this would have happened. I had no idea he was so jealous.
What have they got on him?
Some things in his car, I don't know exactly what. You know they've let him out on bail. I can't believe it.
Why? Money always talks, doesn't it?
The main thing is that you're all right. I know how your mind works.
Mm-hmm.
You're plotting. You're thinking about revenge.
Whatever gave you that idea? I'm just lying here thinking about kittens and baskets.
Well, I'll be off then. He's looking much better. Before you know it, he'll be positively dangerous.
Goodbye. Oh, wonderful, all things considered.
Must be something in the water.
Only last night you were quite delirious. Do you remember?
Do I remember what?
Oh, it's silly, really. I don't know why I'm bothering to mention it. You, swore at me, that's all.
Did I? Oh, so sorry. Probably the drugs. Hardly surprising if the odd faux pas slips out when you're doped to the eyeballs.
I suppose so.
Hi.
Hi.
Splendid.
Are you all right? Never felt better in my life.
I don't think anyone has ever been more glad to see me. It was quite flattering, really. He even skipped breakfast in the cells.
Oh, can I get you something? Are you hungry?
Coffee would be nice.
Right, coming up.
Yes, please.
Thanks, Greg.
Now, the best advice I can give you is to put it out of your mind. It's over. You're not in there anymore.
I've just spent the night with half the Darrows, petty thieves, and raving psychopaths in this city, and you tell me to put it out of my mind?
Yes.
You don't seem to realize it's quite on the cards I'll be spending a lot more of my time in that sort of company.
You're out on bail. You only have to report once a week. And I'm going to make damn sure you don't go back in there again. That's what you pay me for, and I don't come cheap.
You'd better be good.
I am, as half the Darrows, petty thieves, and raving psychopaths in the city will tell you.
Good. Because I can tell you spending the night in the clink sharpens your thinking amazingly. As far as I'm concerned, everything else in my life goes on hold until I find out who set me up and why. Okay, Chris?
Yeah, no worries, mate. I can look after the business.
Didn't take you long to move in.
No time to waste when you're taking over the world, even if it is only a desk.
Not a very big one, either.
Chairman Mao says, journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step.
As long as your first step's out the door, I don't care how far you go.
Just put them down.
I'll quit the histrionics, will you? It's nothing personal.
Nothing personal. You're throwing me out on the streets, and it's nothing personal.
Look, it was fun while it lasted, but now the party is over.
Oh, is it indeed? And I was under the impression it had only just begun.
Well, I've told you how it stands.
Well, pardon me for breathing, Mr. High and Mighty Giles Metcalf. Don't think I don't know what's going on. You're throwing me out like last season's cocktail dress because you found someone new. Why don't you just come out and say it?
You're a bit long in the tooth for a party girl anyway.
That is the most offensive thing anyone has ever said to me.
Yeah, well, life's a bitch and then you die, eh?
Oh, the end of a beautiful romance, is it?
Long in the tooth. I'm not even 25 yet.
I told you right from the beginning, Jasmine, you cannot trust a man who wears white socks.
Look, Shelley, do me a favour and don't start saying I told you so.
I told you so.
Ooh.
No, I'm sorry, but Wednesday's completely out of the question. What about Thursday? Fine. Bye. Alistair, are you all right?
It's not an experience I'd care to repeat.
I'm so sorry. I just don't understand how this happened.
Don't worry. I understand all too well.
What do you understand?
It's Gemma.
Gemma?
She set me up.
Darling, I know you're overwrought, and I'm sure somebody framed you, but Gemma, aren't you clutching at straws, rather?
What an idiot I was. She knew damn well I'd been bad-mouthing Rex all over town. I walked right into it.
Alistair, this is your wife. Isn't it stretching credibility a bit far to say she'd send you to jail for a crime you didn't commit?
That's what she's trying to do.
Well, if you're right, how are you going to prove it?
I'll find a way.
Don't make things worse. I don't want to see you in any more trouble.
Look, don't say a word about this to anyone. There's no one else close to me that I can trust.
I understand.
Do you? Don't think I'm under any delusions that my family's going to stick by me through thick or thin. What I understood last night in that cell was I'm all on my own. The family, wow. You think they're all sorts of things, but in the end, it's every man for himself. It's taken me a long time to grow up.
Look, this is what the nurses are paid for.
I am a nurse.
Thanks. What am I going to do about Alistair?
Stop brooding.
He tried to kill me, Cara.
I don't think you should believe the worst of Alistair until you know for certain.
The guy hates my guts. He's had a go at me before. The police have now arrested him for my attempted murder. For some reason, your attitude doesn't thrill me.
Things do look bad for him.
You wouldn't hesitate to believe me if it wasn't Alistair.
All right. He could have done it.
That's right. We all know you had a soft spot for him when your last marriage was going through a sticky patch.
There
was never anything between Alistair and me.
Relax. I'm not threatened by you and Alistair. In fact, I want you to see him. Ask him to come here.
What makes you think he'd come?
He probably won't. If he's guilty.
Oh, Rex, don't.
Why not? Darling, please, ask him to come. I promise not to hurt him.
Oh, I just love it.
Lars,
Chelsea! Oh!
Do I know you?
I'm your Auntie Cheryl. Oh, I wish you could see your face.
My auntie?
Yes, that's right.
But I never even knew I had an auntie.
Well, you know now. Can't you see the likeness? I spent my life in Maxine's hand-me-downs.
Oh, Mum never told me she had a sister.
Well, that's Maxine for you. Well, I do exist. This is a lovely house.
Oh, won't you sit down? Lars, could you make some coffee, please? Oh, this is a lot to take on board. Does Mum know you're here?
Maxine? Yeah, she gave me the idea. I heard her on the radio talking about the family.
Yes, Mum's policy is very sort of down home.
Well, I can sense that she needs me now. What with Alistair being in all that trouble. Of course, there's never been anything like that on our side of the family. Still, he's you. Right or wrong, even though I've never met him. Blood's thicker than water.
So they say.
This is a gorgeous place. Oh, I love it already. Which room's going to be mine?
Cara. So, I didn't think you'd come. Cara must have been persuasive.
Well, perhaps it proves he's not guilty.
Just knock it off, Rex. I came because Caro asked me, and because our lives seem somewhat intertwined at the moment.
I damn near didn't have a life because of you.
Oh, Rex, please don't start an argument.
Keep out of it. Come on, Alice, I want to hear you deny it.
If you brought me here to extract a confession, you're going to be disappointed.
You tried to kill me.
Believe me, whether you live or die is a matter of supreme indifference to me. But if you think I attacked you, you're a bigger fool than I think you are.
So who did?
I can think of a dozen people that wouldn't mind pushing you off a cliff.
Mm-hmm. But you're the one who did it.
I thought you wanted to talk seriously. Obviously, I'm wasting my time.
I wouldn't worry about wasting your time, cousin. You're going to be doing a lot of that. Inside.
Well, that was a lot of use, wasn't it?
I'll make sure he rots in hell for this.
So, what do you do?
Oh, I'm a manicurist. I don't get away on holiday very much. I only got... Black? I only got away this time because the old man's left me. I never knew your father. Brad, wasn't it?
That's right.
Yes, none of us went to the wedding. Of course, that's ancient history now. Thank you. And what about you?
Well, I left school a while ago, and I've done a bit of modelling, and now I've started a magazine called Zoo.
Fascinating. At what time do you think Maxine comes home? I'd like to see her, but I don't want to bother her at the office.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, no, I don't think she'd like it.
Why not? After all, you are his sister. No, I think it's a brilliant idea. Come on.
All right, if you're sure.
Don't give me all this double talk, Giles. I don't want to know how the business is perceived in the marketplace. I want to know if we're going to survive.
I wish I was rid of you and your whole damn family.
Enough. Just because we've got a slight mishap on our hands doesn't mean to say you've got to turn into a gibbering wreck.
This is not a slight mishap, Maxine. And you know, your family is hardly normal. At each other's throats is an understatement. You're pushing each other off cliffs, and that's the least of it.
Are you rabbiting on about Aaron Sloane again?
Yes, I am.
Well, join the real world, Giles. Aaron is history, an ancient history at that.
Mr. Winter is here, Mrs. Redfern.
Thank you, Rachel. Send him in. We'll talk later, Giles.
Yes, sure.
Okay. I'm going to say something you are not going to want to hear.
Well, don't say it.
I've been talking to some of the journos from different papers. Everyone wants to know about Alistair, and the word is that because of him, you don't stand a chance in hell.
Everyone?
Yep. And if you want my advice, you'll call it off before our so-called colleagues tear you to shreds.
Call it off?
Yes.
Choose to ignore that.
So how are you going to pull it off, then?
Oh, come clean. Be open. The human face, no matter what happens. Open and honest, frank and sincere.
And you think the masses will be sucked in?
To hell with the masses. I'm in this for me.
You know, there are some people who might suspect that you're using Alistair's misfortune to your own advantage. Devil's advocate.
You're forgetting my son is innocent.
Yeah. Well, I'm warning you, Maxine, no one gives a toss about your policies anymore.
Oh, it's a pack of bloodhounds.
So why play with them?
Because they have their uses, if you feed them right.
I'm telling you, it came like a bolt out of the blue. One day it was all on, the next I was out the door. And this from a man who I thought understood about commitment.
Well, you're the one who ought to be committed for taking up with him in the first place.
Oh, so here I am, out on the streets.
You can't say nobody warned you.
Well, I suppose I could stay at the Y tonight.
Oh, it's no use looking at me. I've only just managed to clean the wheat germ ring off the bath.
Oh, no. I wouldn't dream of imposing on your hospitality again.
Good. Just so long as we understand each other.
We need to talk.
Come into Magda's office. She's not there.
Do you think he did it, Panic?
In the grip of ungovernable passion, who knows what a man can do?
Tell us about it.
I'm so relieved you got bail. I was so afraid for you.
I know you set me up.
Me? Why would I do a thing like that?
That's what I'd like to know.
I'm your wife, for heaven's sake.
What were you doing at the meeting last night, Gemma?
Same as everyone else. I'm part of the family, remember?
But what were you doing outside? You knew something was going to happen?
Don't be silly.
I was watching you. I saw the look on your face.
What look? You're getting paranoid, Alistair.
When I got arrested, you weren't surprised. Suddenly a lot of things made sense. Only someone who's gone off the edge would do what you did to Rex. In a way, I feel sorry for you. You've reached the end of the line.
Everyone knows how much you hate Rex. Everyone knows how jealous you were of him and me. I'm the last person anyone would suspect.
But you're lying.
Prove it.
Don't worry, I will.
Okay, it's through here.
Gemma, we all think you should know. What? We know that Alistair couldn't have done it. It's his aura. It's absolutely clear. In fact, it couldn't be clearer if he was a baby. We just know he's innocent.
We're absolutely convinced.
We just thought you'd like to know.
Gemma!
What are you doing? Oh, 3 days' work that took.
I said I didn't want to comment on my son's arrest, and that is precisely what I meant. Get Magda here. Don't let her be late for this luncheon today.
Yes, Mrs. Redfern. Well, Chelsea's here with the visitor. Shall I send her in?
Oh, very well, then.
Hello, Maxine.
I thought it was just a terrible dream.
So it's true, then?
What of it?
Oh, that Cheryl really is my aunt.
Yes, she's your aunt, if you want to put it like that. You are related.
I'm sorry I lost track of you last night, Max. Things got so hectic, what with your son being charged with murder.
Attempted murder.
I looked you up just as soon as I could. You haven't changed a bit.
You have.
Mum, why didn't you tell me I had an aunt? Have you got any more brothers and sisters hidden away anywhere?
If I had, it would be with good reason. Now, why don't you go outside and wait for a while whilst Auntie Cheryl and I get reacquainted? All right, what do you want?
I beg your pardon?
How much?
You insult me, Maxine. I don't want anything from you. I just wanted to see my sister again.
Well, now you've seen me.
You talk about the family in all your interviews. I just took that as an invitation to look you up.
My family has never brought me anything but bad news all my life, and I can't imagine you're going to change that. I presume there's a problem. I suppose it's Dad.
Well, the occasional cheque would have come in handy. Still, I realise you're very busy.
As far as the old man is concerned, my cheque-writing arm is suffering from paralysis. How is the miserable old sod?
He died 2 weeks ago. Now, I didn't bother inviting you to the funeral. You never showed up for Mum's.
I was in London. Now, what do you hope to gain by all this?
Oh, I was just hoping that we could spend a bit of time together, that's all. I was lonely. I guess you wouldn't understand that. No, you're much too busy and famous and successful.
Oh, please, don't pull at the heartstrings.
Oh, why would I bother? You never used to have any. I doubt whether you've got any now. Oh, I can disappear again if that's what you want.
Oh, please, it's not like I loathe you or anything. It's just that I don't want to know. Oh. I didn't mean to offend you. I'm sorry. Can't have been easy for you.
No.
What am I doing?
If you want me to go, just say so.
All right. Go back to my house, make yourself at home, and we'll see. Oh. Goodness me, as if I haven't got enough on my hands without a long-lost sister turning up. Did you ever hear of Billy Carter?
No.
Oh, that gives me hope.
Oh?
Who was that? Nobody.
No, I'll get it to you. Just give us a couple of days.
Time is running out.
Well, it's only a couple of grand. Day after tomorrow.
I'll be counting on it. Righto. There's a big game on tomorrow night. Some of the Greek guys. $100 blind. They said you'd be a starter.
You know me.
Good. And you make sure you bring cash. They don't take credit cards.
All right.
See you later.
See you, Gavin. Scotch on the rock, thanks.
Oh, yeah?
How's it going, mate?
Not so good. Still, you've got bigger things on your plate.
Well, they'll keep for a minute. How's business?
That's what I mean. We're not doing any business after last night.
Oh, I was afraid of that.
Those Melbourne backers I was talking to are running scared. Bad news travels fast.
Yeah?
Nothing a bit of cash wouldn't put right. A cash injection from a key player, but that's probably asking a bit much at this stage.
If you reckon you know what to do, do it.
Well, I know I've got signing authority, but this is a bit more than petty cash.
Look, we're not going to go under for the sake of a few lousy grand at the right time. Use your own judgment. That's what I cut you in for.
Right. Well, I'll get it organised right away. You won't regret this. It should swing the whole deal. Good. Great.
Hi, Jess. Back in my office, as you can see.
Good. Look, I've been talking to the prosecution, and there's a few things you should know.
I've been busy myself.
Not playing detectives, I hope.
Been away, yes. I know who did it.
You know or you suspect?
Well, I've got a pretty strong suspicion, if you want to get precise.
Well, suspicions will do nothing for us in court. They're like evidence. Got any of that?
Not yet, but it'll come.
Okay. So who did it?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you. Not without the evidence, anyway.
Alistair. I hope you know what you're doing.
Of course I don't.
I had hoped that Alistair might have called in before now.
Well, he's terribly tired. He's probably having a sleep. Oh, that such a thing should happen. Just when things were going more smoothly for him.
I hope you don't think that he did it.
Well, we all like to believe the best of our own flesh and blood.
Alistair has his shortcomings in all conscience, but violence is not one of them.
Well, the main thing is he's got friends round him. And, of course, you know, I'm always there if you need me, Livy.
I know, Dorothy. Thank you.
You've had your share of knocks with that family of yours, goodness knows.
Whenever I think of yesterday, I just shudder. All my old friends there, and for this to happen. Of course, they were all wonderful about it afterwards, but I'd almost rather have had their contempt rather than their sympathy. Oh, blast Maxine and her megalomania. She'll go on with this campaign, you know, and she'll hurt us all even more.
She's a very determined woman.
Maybe so.
And so are you, Livy. So are you.
So I am.
Sorry it's not champagne, but I don't think you're in quite a fit state for that yet.
No.
Cheers.
To what? Clean living? No. To Alistair. My cousin, they dropped dead.
Oh.
What's your problem?
He didn't do it, Rex.
Right, there's loyalty for you.
Loyalty doesn't mean I have to agree with you on everything.
No? Well, it ought to mean you don't side with Alistair against me.
It's not a question of taking sides.
Well, it is for me.
Oh, well, I'm sorry you feel that way.
So am I.
Vultures. Well, on the one hand, you should be flattered. I've never seen so many reporters at a charity lunch. But it wasn't your policy on disadvantaged children that they came for.
Morbid parasites. They just wanted to hear the confessions of a murderer's mum.
Well, what did you expect? Sure beats local body politics.
Oh, look, I've got enough problems of my own without you sharpening your fangs as well. I mean, if you can't give me any sympathy, just get back to your office.
The office? Oh, I don't know. After that nice little drop of Chardonnay at lunch, I'm in the mood for a bit of relaxation. I think I might go and get my hair done.
Oh, it's all right for some. Rachel! Oh, Rachel, file these, would you please? And type these up and send them out with photographs. And Rachel, I've got a bankers meeting in 10 minutes. Could you make sure that Giles is here with me, please?
Mr. Metcalfe hasn't been here since early this morning, and no one seems to be able to locate him.
That's all I need.
I like the plan. It's very thorough.
Very professional. Your work? Or Sloane's?
His. Everything's organised. The driver's all set to stop by the taxi rank and go for a very long walk. We've got the van for exactly an hour, which gives us plenty of time to get in there, do the job and shoot through. We put the van back as if nothing's happened, and our driver collects something for his favourite charity, himself.
And what about the other matter?
Oh, you mean the body?
Yes, the body.
We get a close enough match. Not that it matters. The accelerant we're using will make napalm look like talcum powder. It'll even melt down his teeth.
Oh, Johns. What's the matter? You got a bit of intestinal trouble?
Look, I can't be seen with you two.
No? You're going to be seeing a lot more of us, isn't he, Lorimer?
A lot more.
There isn't going to be any weaseling out of your part in this, is the Metcalfe. In fact, I don't think we're going to let you out of our sight.
Sit down.
So, how does it feel to have a proper desk and a proper office then?
So, how does it feel to be the girl that made it all happen?
Pretty good.
Who's that strange woman I saw you with?
She's my mother's sister.
Didn't know she had one?
Neither did I until today. I don't think they got much in common. Well, they haven't seen each other since before Alistair was born.
Yeah, he was in here before. Doesn't look like a guilty man to me.
You think so?
Look, don't worry. It all depends on your lawyers. They can afford the best.
If anyone rings for me, I'll be back in about an hour. I'm going to go and look at some flats.
What sort of flats?
Just ads in the paper. Flatmate wanted. Vegetarian.
Gemma, I know you're busy, but I really need those transparencies of the Unionist. The photographs?
Huh?
Photographs?
out of breath.
I believe Mrs. Redfern is
I couldn't seem to
office.
locate her there.
I'm Mrs. Redfern's sister. Perhaps I could help?
Her sister?
Yes. I'm Cheryl Gravestock. And you are?
Paul Harper, Sunday Gazette.
Oh, no, not me, Paul Harper.
I guess so.
Oh, I just love those stories you write. The lives of the rich and famous.
Well, you should know all about that, being Maxine Redfern's sister.
Oh, God, not really. Well, we haven't seen each other for the last 25 years.
A long-lost sister, eh? Any more like you back home?
No, only me.
And your parents?
Oh, passed on.
I suppose you hadn't seen them for 25 years either.
Well, we weren't a very close family, really.
How did your parents feel about having a famous daughter that never came home?
Mum and Dad? Well, they never used to talk about it much, really.
Heartbroken silence.
Well, not exactly. Oh, no, she used to send presents at Christmas, when she remembered.
You can't buy love, eh, Cheryl?
Well, I wouldn't say she was trying to do that.
Well, fame does this to people. They don't like to think of their humble origin. How do you feel about your sister?
Oh, I don't know, really.
The sister you longed for but have never been able to know.
Is that how it sounds?
Oh, it's a very moving story, Cheryl. What say I do an article on you for the papers? Maybe some photos.
What? Oh, do you think people would be really interested?
Your sister's hoping to become Mayor of Auckland. I should think people would be fascinated to hear about you.
Oh. Not supposed to be any harm in it.
No, I have no comment to make. No, I have no comment to make about Mrs. Redfern's mayoral campaign, either. I wish I'd never got involved in her ridiculous political aspirations. Rita, ask Edward to bring the car round, please. It's time I stopped talking about this and did something. Caro, my dear, you don't look very well. What's the matter?
Oh, nothing.
Come on now, tell me the truth. What's happened?
Oh, it's just Rex. He doesn't seem to be his usual self at the moment. Now, of course, I realise he's under a lot of strain right now. And this was meant to be our honeymoon. That's what makes it worse.
Makes what worse?
Well, it's probably my fault. I'm not making it any easier for him. I don't seem to be able to agree with him over quite important things. We end up quarrelling.
Caro, how do you think Rex would feel if he knew that I had control of Miranda's money again?
I don't know. And I don't see how that could be any of his business.
Perhaps not.
Why do you ask?
Because I have told him.
You what?
Before the wedding. I wasn't going to say anything.
What on earth made you do that, Olivia?
I'd have done anything to prevent that wedding. I'm sorry, but it's true. And it didn't work.
Don't be silly. That wouldn't make any difference to Rex. You don't understand. Rex has had a terrible accident. He's in pain. And I'm not being understanding enough.
She's a natural, don't you reckon?
Yeah. What about over here by the curtains?
Of course, they used to say that I had the looks and she had the brains. One thing's for sure, she's got the money.
Oh, she didn't pass on her loot, eh? She let the family struggle on without her.
Oh, I wouldn't say struggle exactly. No, we're doing all right. Anyway, I wouldn't want any of her money. Oh, she's earned it. I wouldn't mind betting she's done a few things I wouldn't do to get it either.
Oh, Mrs. Redfern. So, what deep, dark, mysterious things do you reckon Max has done to get her cash?
Yeah, the mind boggles. But I'll tell you something for nothing. Whatever they were, they sure paid off. You should see a wardrobe. Wouldn't mind a few of her cast-offs.
Cheryl wants only the hand-me-downs from her rich sister, nothing more.
Do you think I can see what you've written before you publish it?
Sorry, look, we've got to rush if we want to meet tomorrow's deadline.
Look, I might get recognised in there. I've been visiting too often.
Hang about here. Look like you're sorting some towels.
Yes, great, yeah.
Lars,
Yes, Mrs. Redfern?
I think you might have something to tell me, Lars.
Me?
Someone's been in my room.
I made the bed this morning.
And what about the stuff in my drawer? You've got it, haven't you?
I made the bed, nothing else.
And what about her? Where's she been? I beg your pardon. Something is missing from my room.
Who do you think you are, barging in here and accusing people of being thieves?
I'm Gemma Redfern and I live here.
The wife.
Well, I have never been into your room.
Would you care to comment on the current accusations against your husband, Mrs. Redfern?
No, I would not. Get that thing out of my face!
Mrs. Redfern Senior to see you, Mrs. Redfern.
Oh, all right. Send her in. I've only got a minute, so you better make it quick.
I won't take up much of your time. I'm not here to gossip. I'm here to tell you that I've had enough.
Enough of what?
This campaign of yours. Foolishly, I allowed you to blackmail me into getting my friends involved. But this has to stop now. Surely even you must realize that.
No, I don't.
Face the facts, Maxine. Your son is in trouble. You can withdraw without any loss of face. And then perhaps we can get back to some semblance of normality. It'll be best for all concerned.
I'll decide what's best for me, thank you, Olivia.
You want the support of people like me, people you want to be like. Old money, private schools, the things you never had. But these people are not taken in by Aravis. They never are. They came to see you out of friendship for me. But what I can't forget is that they left, pitying us both.
Pity is cheap.
Oh, what's the point? You'll never listen, not to anybody.
You may not act like street brawlers, any of you, but you've all been near the gutter in your time. Oh!
See you tomorrow.
Hello, Giles.
So what do you think of Maxine Redfern for mayor, then?
Well, what can I say? She's certainly got the wardrobe for it.
The only trouble is that son of hers. It'll lose her votes.
Well, with any luck, they'll drop the charges.
But mud sticks. Magda, what did I say?
Oh, don't come to me with your problems. Look, I've had a stinker of a day and it's not getting any better.
Well, do yourself a favour. Let me buy you a drink.
Can't. I'll be here till midnight at this rate.
No, you won't. You're coming with me.
Do I have a choice?
Nope.
Oh, good.
Did one of those flats turn out all right? They were full of Rottweiler dogs and men with tattoos. So where are you staying tonight? Oh, all right. You can come home with me. I haven't got round to advertising your room yet.
Oh, can I?
You have to clean the walls, though. Darren's drawn all over them with one of your old lipsticks. That's the only reason I haven't advertised.
Thanks, Shelley. You're a true friend.
Those pictures, Gemma's.
Pictures?
Page 14.
Do you have a problem?
Hey, you look like you've seen a ghost.
Well, as a matter of fact, if you must know, yes, I think I have seen a ghost.
Maxine, Mac, come over here. Join me for a drink for poor old Al.
Less volume, thank you. You're rather shrill in the upper register.
Conrad?
Why don't you go home?
Home?
Write yourself off there if you have to.
Please, spare us the unedifying spectacle.
Home, sweet home, eh? It's hardly private there, if you ask me. More like a three-ring circus.
You look grotesque. Elucidate, for heaven's sake.
Oh, it's not me. Some woman lying all over the furniture giving a press conference. Smiling for the birdie. Click, click, click. Matt.
I can't remember a word I said now.
Ah, don't worry, I took it all down.
You don't think she'll mind, do you?
Mind? Why should she possibly mind? I mean, everything you told me is the truth, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Then what could possibly be the problem?
Maxine!
Paul Harper. It would have to be you, wouldn't it?
Too late, Maxine, but you can read about it tomorrow, like the rest of Auckland.
Get out before I call the police. And as for you, Harper...
Oh, you're not going to threaten me, are you?
Well, if she doesn't, I will.
See you in the funny papers, Maxine.
Aren't you, Matt Winter? Oh, I've been watching your show for years.
You cow! You silly cow!
Why? What have I done? You mean that journalist? He was just interested in hearing me talk about myself, that's all.
Would somebody shut that woman up?
You're not the only interesting person in this world, Maxine.
This time tomorrow, I am going to be the laughingstock of Auckland, and it's all going to be because of you.
If you think I'm going to stay here and listen to you abuse me, you can think again. I'm going out.
Out of my life, promise me.
Who was that?
My sister, my cocktail dress and my Paloma Picasso cocktail bag.
Your sister?
Cheryl. Her code name is Nemesis.
But why would Gemma do this to you?
To make the world believe I love her enough to kill for her. She's probably proving it to herself in some sick way.
Okay, I'll go along with the theory for a moment. But what's going to convince a jury that you're right?
I knew you were going to say that. Follow me.
What are these supposed to be?
I found them in Gemma's room today.
Does Gemma know you have these?
Nope.
So you stole them?
What do you mean, stole them? Are they proof or aren't they?
They're interesting evidence. But as your lawyer, I need to tell you that producing these in court would be useless.
Why? What's wrong with them?
Who was with you when they were found?
Nobody.
Then who's to say they don't belong to you?
I am.
But who's to dispute that they're in your possession because they're your property? That you planted the explosive in Rex's car?
Are you telling me that I've wasted my time?
No, I'm not. But we'll have to find another way to convince a jury.
Oh, so the truth isn't good enough.
It seldom is.
I don't get it. Sometimes I think you're on my side, and then I just don't know.
Okay. Let's suppose we have stumbled onto something here. That gives us motive, but we need more than that. We need physical evidence, opportunity.
But she did have the opportunity. Gemma left the wedding to clean a dress. She then did in Rex's car, planted the stuff in mine. She must have had the gloves for ages beforehand. Don't you see? She could have done it.
She didn't.
She didn't what?
The gloves, she didn't have them for ages. You lost them not so long ago. Right after Gemma came visiting.
She was here.
Thing I like about you is you never say, I told you so.
Yes, it's big of me. I'll grant you that.
It's come to the end of the road, just like you said it would. I'm looking straight down the barrel of a sawn-off shotgun, and my little sister's got her finger on the trigger. My little sister. To think I can come so far and my family can still drag me down after so long.
Well, the moral of the story is stick to things you can control.
I didn't ask you for a moral.
Oh, they come cheap. Here's another one. Don't expect the world to love you. The world never loves a woman who is strong and successful.
I didn't realize you were such a serious philosopher.
Oh, I have a philosophy for every occasion.
I'd like to hear more of your philosophies.
Oh, they could take all night.
What do you think?
I think you are beautiful when you're down.
Down?
And when you're rock bottom, you are irresistible.
Oh, you're so sweet.
I'll look after you. It's okay.
It hangs together. She's had the motive, opportunities, and she must be crazy. It's enough like a second-rate detective story to be truly convincing. I think I could just about persuade a jury, now that I believe it myself.
So, you're a real lawyer after all.
What'd you think I was?
A good-looking girl who rode horses, and probably read too many detective stories.
Oh, stick to the flattering bits.
You know, one good thing has come of all of this. I've got you in my concern. You gonna prove I'm innocent?
I'm going to give it my best shot. In fact, Alistair, I think you're going to need me more than you realize.
Speaking professionally.
Of course. What else?